Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Abrams, NATO 7.2. Okay, there's no damage or anything to repair, so we're straight into tech. PGM, seed, chemical. That looks like a clean sweep. So there's stage 1 of PGM. Seed goes to stage 3. Chemical goes to stage 2. Okay, very good. All right, now, because Warsaw Pact has captured Piedmont and is threatening the missile silo in southern France, NATO gets 4 dice to attempt counterforce release authorization. There's a 12, there it is. Can you see that? Big 12, okay. Counterforce release is achieved, which also means theater release is achieved. And we're going to see if the Warsaw Pact attack into Piedmont was really wise. We just don't know at this point. Okay, so we have 3 theater missiles to place. So let's get those on the board. So, okay, we're going to put 1 in southern England. 2, 3. Yeah, 1 in southern England. 1 in Paris. And 1 in Rhineland. It'll go on the card. All right. And now, of course, we also are able to use the nuclear strategic bombers, nuclear cruise missiles, and we are allowed to fire the IRBM. As a result of achieving theater release, NATO can also have a single B-1 bomber on the board, whether they purchase it themselves or they get it as military aid from the Americans. But that is a possibility now. Oh, and since they're counterforce released, they're DEFCON 1. Okay, got that done. Now we're at purchase. So NATO is spending 6 on a pair of frigates, 12 on 2 artillery. They're spending 16 on 2 mechs and a fighter, and the remaining 12 on 2 next-gen MBTs. Okay, combat. First up, the NATO boys don't like Warsaw Pact being in North Africa. So this air cav from Valencia goes 1-2 in here to attack Tunisia. The airborne from Extremadura goes 1-2-3 in there to join the attack. Now the airborne will have a desert penalty of -1. And then from the fleet here in M2, the attack bomber and fighter are going in to also support the attack. Yes. Okay, next. The NATO fleet there in A6 does not like the Soviet Northern Fleet being in A4. They don't like it one bit. So they're going to go up there and they're going to try to kick the shit out of them. The diesel boat from A10 goes 1-2 up there to join the attack. Yeah. And then our final combat is going to be here in East Germany. There aren't any SAMs in East Germany, so there is no missile defense or air defense, either one. So, the major air base at Rhineland shoots cruise missile 1-2 into there. The strategic bomber from southern France flies up here to Rhineland, and let's see, NATO does have long-range missiles, yeah. So they're shooting 2 cruise missiles, 1-2, into East Germany in surgical strike. And then from Rhineland, 2 A-10s, an F-117, attack bomber are going in the surgical strike. The F-117, the attack bomber, will roll battlefield nukes. 4 fighters are going along as escort. Now, down there in West Czechoslovakia, Warsaw Pact does have 3 fighters. And they have decided they are going to scramble those 3 fighters into the defense of East Germany. Yes, they are. And that'll be it for combat. So, let's do the fight there in Tunisia first. There's no first strikes. Pretty easy. So we're going to have an airborne, would be boosted to 3 in airborne assault, but then down to 2 because of the desert penalty. Miss. The air cav at its regular 4. Miss. Okay, the defending air cav does get a hit. Ooh. Okay, that's going to kill the airborne. So, air cav on air cav. Yep. There's the hit by the attacker. So, Tunisia has fallen. This airborne is dead. Take that off there. And that's now going to be a NATO territory since they liberated it. Okay, that's that. Next, we will do the surgical strike into East Germany. So let's move over here and deploy the auxiliary tray. There we go. Okay, so interception is first. So we have 4 NATO fighters escorting. There is 1 interception hit. There's 1 interception hit by NATO. And now you've got, I know the attack bomber is an interception of 1, but I have suddenly forgotten the other 2. Actually, the F-117 is immune to interception, so he doesn't worry us. A-10 has an interception of 1. So 2 A-10s, they both miss. As I said, the F-117 is immune. So now we have 3 Warsaw Pact fighters, and they score 1 interception hit. So each side is going to lose a fighter. Take 1 off Warsaw Pact, and take 1 off of NATO. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the other combats. Since theater missiles came in, I'll take care of that after this. Actually, there's going to be more. I should have gone in order. But like I said, I'll finish this and then I'll get things straightened out. Okay, we did all that. So now we have 3 cruise missiles, and there is, I forgot to mention, spy satellite support for this attack. Okay, the cruise missiles all missed, but the planes get to shoot at full value. So we've got 2 A-10s. That's a 1 or a 5. It's going to be a hit either way. So there is 1 hit by the A-10. And now we have F-117 battlefield nukes. There's 3 hits. And what's the F-117's target select? Is that the A-10 hit is a target select. The F-117 target select of 1. Yeah, target select of 1. So actually I gotta fix this. This one is a target select hit. This one, these 3 are regular hits. Yeah, that's right. So those 3, wait a minute. Does that apply to battlefield nukes with target select? That's a good question. I suddenly can't remember if target select applies to battlefield nukes. I'll say that it doesn't, because it wouldn't make sense. I mean, the nukes really aren't precision weapons. Okay, so the attack bomber now battlefield nukes. And there are 2 more hits for a total of 6. That hurts them. That hurts them more than a little bit. They got to take 6 hits. But I just suddenly can't remember if you can target select in a surgical strike. Let me look real quick. Okay, we found it. A 1 rolled in a surgical strike is a land target select, and we did have one of those. So we do get one land target select, which we are going to take on an artillery. So that knocks that down to that much. And now Warsaw Pact has to choose 5 more. Well, they're going to take the 4 early gen MBTs. That's what they're there for. And they will take 1 MBT. Okay, so that's resolved. Yeah, that thinned them out a little bit in northern Germany. All right, let me put this stuff back, and then I will fix what I forgot to do after counterforce was rolled. Because counterforce strategic nuclear attacks are supposed to happen in their own step. And there are going to be, or there is going to be, no, actually, there are going to be, are there going to be? Yes, they're going to be. Yeah, just might as well. If you're going to hit them all the way. Don't play around. So what we're going to do, if we can see all of it. The 2 nuclear-capable strategic bombers take off from the nuclear air base in Paris and fly 1, 2, 3, 4 to Western Czechoslovakia. There's no interception. SAMs and so forth can't block their movement. And they're shooting 2 nuclear cruise missiles into East Czechoslovakia at the mobile IRBMs. Now, the mobile IRBMs do get to have they do get to have an inherent, or they get a strategic defense role. And then from southern France, since it's threatened and they may lose it, they're going to use it while they can. They're going to shoot the IRBM from southern France at the major army base in West Czechoslovakia. Yes. So I'll just go around to here for this one because I have to refresh my memory again. Okay, memory refreshed. So we're doing the nuclear cruise missiles on the IRBMs first. And since there's 2 cruise missiles going in there, they get, I would assume, makes sense, they get 1 nuclear defense die for each. Okay, 1 is shot down, 1 got through. So the one that gets through rolls 2d6. That's 6 damage. I don't believe that's enough to destroy 1. I don't think it is. Mobile IRBM, max damage of 7. So you got to have 8 to kill 1. So there's 6 damage goes on 1 of those. And now we have the IRBM. Yeah, we got the IRBM, and it's that's just a missile attack, so that's just one die of strategic nuclear defense for the base. That's a 7, that's a miss. So the missile got through, and that is triple dice. I see 12. And a major, let's refresh our memory. Major army base has max damage of 18. So let's get back around here. We have 6 damage on a mobile IRBM. Take those off of there. And $12 damage on that major army base right there. Okay, that was our strategic. Let's see what strategic nuclear attack phase. Yeah, that's what we did there. This stuff back on the dashboard. Okay, now we move on back to regular combat, which there are going to be some additions. And 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. The theater missile from Paris is going to target the major army base in West Czechoslovakia and try to finish it off. The theater missile in Rhineland is going to target the major air base in West Czechoslovakia. And the one in southern England is going to target the major army base in East Germany. Now these, of course, are regular AMD. They're not strategic. And that's it for additional combats. So as long as we're right here, let's go on and do these. We'll deploy the auxiliary tray. Okay, so we have the major army base in West Czechoslovakia. It's 2 AMD shots. Both miss. And I didn't bring D6s with me, so I have to go get them. That's, I think, a purposeful design reason for making strategic nuclear attacks its own phase, because you can hit a base and damage it, and then in regular combat phase, you can hit it again with a theater missile and try to finish it off, which is what we're going to do here. That is 4 more damage, goes up to 16, not enough to completely wipe it out, but very expensive to repair. Okay, now we have the attack on the major air base in West Czechoslovakia. There's its AMD. The missile is shot down. You see it there. And now major army base in East Germany. Missile is again shot down. So that one doesn't get through either. So that's all that. Now we have to do the sea battle in A4. And I will move that stuff over here to the boards. Okay. There's how it shakes out. There's no first strikes. Of course, the amphib and the supercarrier for NATO remain behind in A6 because they don't have attack values. So here we go. There's no first strikes for anybody, so NATO starts off with 3 frigates. Nothing. Now we got 3 destroyers. 1 hit. SSN. Yes. 2 cruisers. Oh my God, this is terrible. Fighter. There's a hit. And attack bomber. There is a hit. 3 hits by NATO. Not very good for all that shooting. Okay, now we have an amphib defending for a miss. There are 4 frigates for 1 hit. A lone destroyer. That's a hit. And 2 cruisers for a 3rd hit. 3 hits each. Okay, so the attacking hits are going to be taken on amphib and 2 frigates naturally. The 3 defensive hits will be taken on 3 frigates. And NATO's going to press the attack. So there's 3 destroyers. For 1 hit, there's no subs, so there's no target select. Okay, 1 SSN. That is a hit. That's 2. 2 cruisers. 2 hits. 1 is a surface target select. So there's a surface target select, and then 1 general hit takes that up to 3. And then a fighter. Miss. Attack bomber. Miss. Okay, 2 frigates defend. Miss. Destroyer. Gets a hit. And 2 cruisers. Both miss. Okay, so the surface target select. Let me check something because I've suddenly forgotten. Okay, I had to make sure that phalanx defense only applies for anti-ship missile target selects. So with this, NATO is going to target select and kill a cruiser. Yeah, target select and kill a cruiser. That takes that off. Now they got 3 general hits. So Warsaw or Soviets will take 2 frigates and the destroyer. Clears that off. 1 hit in defense. They'll take on a destroyer. Clears that off. Okay, press the attack. So, 2 destroyers. There's the hit that is needed. Overkill. Go on and do the 2 cruisers. Okay, there's a second overkill, so that's plenty of hits. The cruiser defends for a hit. So the cruiser is gone and NATO takes the hit on a destroyer. The Soviet Northern Fleet has been wiped out. I kept forgetting to roll the... I didn't see the diesel boat. I overlooked it. Well, what we're going to do, though, what we are going to do is we're going to take that diesel boat as a casualty and put a destroyer back on the card. Card back there where it goes. That guy comes off. Okay, the planes land back on their carrier. And we're just going to go on a non-combat, move these guys back over here onto the card in A6. Okay, that is it for combat. Now there will be just a touch of non-combat. Put things back down there. Okay, the SPAG, the 2 MBTs, from Benelux are going 1-2 down here to southern France. There's that. The strategic bomber lands in Paris. Of course, the nuclear strategic bombers landed back in Paris and went back to the dashboard. The 2 attack choppers from Benelux are going to fly 2 spaces over there to Bavaria. The Marine and the SPAG, because they have advanced logistics, this minor port can now has a sea lift capacity of 2. So the Marine and the SPAG are going to sea lift 1-2 to Denmark to bolster them a little bit. The SAM from Midlands can't do that because they've already used the extra sea lift capacity there. Never mind. Okay, we'll do this. The SAM from Scotland will use this minor shipyard, go 1-2 to sea lift over to Akershus. The SAM from Midlands moves overland up to Scotland. No, change that. Down there to southern England. Bring him back from Akershus. He stayed in Scotland. The one from Midlands went down to southern England. Yeah, that's how we're going to do that. So we used 2 sea lifts. The Marine from Iceland will come out of the minor port in 1-2. He will also, because there's actually a 4 capacity on that major port, so there's plenty of room there. He goes to Denmark as well. So get a chip under that Marine in Denmark. We did that one. The fighter and the attack bomber went 1 into there, and then they will want 2, 3 back up to here because the fleet moves to M3. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, now we place units. So 2 frigates into the major shipyard in southern France. They will go on the fleet card there. And then we'll take everybody else over this way. Okay, so we have a fighter into the minor air base in southern France and 2 mechs into that minor army base. And then we have 2 artillery and 2 next-gen MBTs into the major army base in Rhineland. Yeah. All right, that's it for placing units. Collect money. NATO is at 45. -2 for a tanker sitting on their dashboard. We'll make 43. Plus the one they saved makes 44. Okay, and 3 cruise missiles were shot, but they built 3, so there's no change there. Add 3 anti-ship missiles to this inventory. And there we go. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.